Hello and welcome to today's episode of Buggy Beta, where today I'm going to show you a completely deleted mission in Buggy revolving around the internet motel. Now before I begin, this mission is completely deleted and only exists in the game's script files, and that is called free_s09.lur and is playable, but at the same time is also completely unplayable through the arcade machine. All that's officially known about this mission is it would have taken place as a side mission in chapter 3. Now upon starting this mission, you'll be teleported straight outside the internet motel, as there is no cutscene to this mission, and this mission was cut very early on because the time changes from day to night after the mission loads, and the clock also completely disappears. The only thing we see in front of us are two completely unused snow barricades. Now unusually there are also two police cars that spawn here which normally do not spawn at all. Now going to the motel in free mode, we can see this car is still here but there's no sign of the police. So this implies that this mission might have had something to do with holding off the police perhaps, but I might be wrong on that because of some other information I found out. But I just have to give a quick theory and showcase some more cut content. I do believe the mission may have had you holding off enemies because the barricades here are somewhat finished. They do have collision, even if it's a bit poor, and they react accordingly when damaged, and you can see the barricade itself gets more and more destroyed when hit, and when it's completely destroyed, the collision on the barricade completely disappears. Now if we check our minimap, the game seems to have glitched out entirely because the pause menu believes we're not in a mission, as the objective menu lists all our available missions as if we're in free mode. But these missions are not present on the map, which does imply we are still in the mission. It's also worth noting that there are no enemies that actually spawn in this mission, as they're also not marked on the map. Sort of. Vance, Lefty and Ricky do spawn in this mission and they spawn at this side of the motel, but they do not do anything at all. However, provoking them, or even just one of them, will cause all three of them to fight. So maybe this was the first objective of the mission, which was to fight these three greasers. But knocking all three of them out causes the game to crash instantly. I tried this multiple times and the result was the same. After the third greaser got knocked out, the game just flat out crashed. My best bet was this was our first objective, and knocking the greasers out causes a completely deleted character to spawn for our next objective, which would explain why the game crashes, because the character the game needs doesn't exist anymore. I tried looking around the area near the motel but I couldn't find any other characters that spawn. All we got was the greasers, so it implies that what we see is what we get, but that is not all this mission has to offer, because I looked through the game's files for anything that could tell us what this mission was about, what it contained and all that, and I did find a fair bit of info. Now, thanks to Deadpool XYZ's video on the unused mission markers, we can still see where the mission would have started, outside this specific room in the motel. Now sadly, there are no character quotes, there are no text files, nor cutscene files or anything like that, but there is a rather unusually big trigger file which is left over, which gives us a bit of a big insight into the mission, but at the same time it's also incredibly confusing. Because first of all, it lists multiple barricade covers, even though we only saw 2 in the mission we got. So this could imply that as the mission would have progressed, more barricades would have spawned. There's also leftover lines for ambushes, which read free_s09_ambush trigger 01 alongside ambush trigger 02. There's also lines of code for going on the roof with free_s09 roof path 01, implying that we or maybe some of the NPCs would have spawned on the roof. The greasers we see at the beginning are referred to as initial greasers, and there's a weird file called free_s09 Raoul test player start. And no, I do not think that means that was going to play as a deleted character called Raoul. I just think that was possibly like a developer placeholder thing, because it does say at Raoul test. And there are also unknown teachers and possible deleted characters who are going to appear in this mission, because there's another line called free_s09_teacher start and free_s09 girlfriend, and another one with manager, who I think might be Mialovic. Pretty sure I butchered that and I do apologise. And another really interesting leftover line is called extra reinforcements, so this might have been some extra greasers or possibly even extra police showing up sometime in the mission. Now going back to Deadpool XYZ's video, he claims that the mission would have had greasers vandalising a dumpster alongside Mr. Burton, Mrs. Carvin and Dr. Bambillo appearing. But as you saw in the video, none of these characters were anywhere to be found, aside from the greasers that is. Also a dumpster wasn't seen, and even then the greasers just remained static. Although, to be fair to Deadpool, when I did look through the files, I did see a line for a dumpster. So, who knows, maybe that's how the mission would have started off. We would have had to start off the mission by fighting the greasers who are vandalising the property. But that does also raise another question, because Dr. Bambillo does not actually own the motel. It's heavily implied to be Mihalovic, and I really do apologise if I keep butchering that. But going off this, it seems like this mission was going to be a really chaotic one, because I do not think the girlfriend has anything to do with Jimmy, but if Deadpool is correct, maybe this was Mr. Burton's girlfriend, Mrs. Carvin. Now, if I had to guess, I would assume that the police were going to play a massive role in this mission, with police cars spawning, and it does make more sense for the police to set up ambushes and call in reinforcements. But if that is correct, it does raise the question, what the hell happened in this mission for the police to turn up and go after Jimmy? That's if it was the police anyway. To me, it sort of feels like the kind of linear mission where you try and escape Bullworth Town to avoid getting arrested somehow after something big went down at the motel. But the one thing that might prove me wrong here is the barricades. As we know, the police in Bully are rather harmless, as they don't really attack outside of just throwing bricks. So had this been Jimmy evading police, he wouldn't really need barricades, he'd just have to run. Because, you know, as said, the police don't actually attack in any way, shape or form unless Jimmy's like high up in the air, or if he's like in water. So this might imply that Jimmy had to avoid the greasers, which would make sense as we've seen the greasers chase Jimmy before in wrong part of town. All I can really think of is this mission did revolve heavily around the greasers and the police. But either way though, I am pretty good that this mission was cut. It'd be good to see what this mission was initially. So what do you think about this mission? Do you think it revolved around the greasers or the police? What do you think this mission was all about? I'd love to read your thoughts and theories on this in the comments below. So that's mostly it for this video. If you like, be sure to subscribe for more Bully based content and that. And if you wish to support me in a more personal way, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a member of my channel to get early access to most of my videos before they go on YouTube. That's most, except for Bully 2 news and that. So thank you for watching and have a great day.